Welcome to Xbox Corner, my name is Alex and today we got the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase for 2022. For me, it was what I'd call a decent showing, mainly because they focused on what's dropping in the next 12 months, something we definitely needed. So hit subscribe, join us here on Xbox Corner, and let's take a look at every game announced today, of which all of them, they are coming to Game Pass day one. So this will be a quick breakdown. If you want to see the full trailers, I've pinned the full 90 or so minute showcase in the comments down below. Redfall then opened the event, and a big focus here on gameplay. We got a 2023 release date, and I like the look of it. I had zero expectations, but I am a fan of the formula, and this seems to be a decent little spin on the Left 4 Dead format. It seems to be paying a little extra attention to melee style combat as well as gunplay, but what has me, they move through these doorways and they enter what is a surreal-like spin on the current location. Hollow Knight Silksong then is by far one of my most requested titles of recent memory. I am absolutely fed up of waiting for this game. Needs very little introduction. The original is one of the best Metroidvanias out there with a combination of near flawless exploration and combat, but now the sequel, it will hit Game Pass day one. I think that is a big win for Xbox personally, but hopefully it can live up to the hype. High on Life then comes from the creators of Rick and Morty, a brand new and unique looking first person experience. If I had to guess, it appears to be packing RPG elements as well, and you're kind of exploring what seems to be small sandbox locations rather than following a linear path. The trailer, it focused mainly on the gunplay and the fact they are living, breathing creatures, but there seems to be some sick wire hijinks and a whole lot of dialogue as well. Looks great though, I'm down for this one. It's kind of got an air of almost think Dishonored to it as well. Riot Games then announced all unlocks for their releases are coming to PC Game Pass. Not a world I really know myself, but this seems like a win for players out there, and it's including games like, of course, Valorant and League of Legends. A Plague Tale Requiem got a new gameplay trailer. The original was a narrative-focused stealth adventure. Wasn't a perfect game, honestly, but it did pack a lot of good ideas, so I'm hoping this one simply kind of fine-tunes things like the rats, the enemies, and just the overall threat of this world. Visually, it looks stunning though, and I'm hoping here for another emotional journey, no doubt overcoming incredible odds. Forza Motorsport then, it's more racing. They proceeded to bang on about texture works and time of day being big advancements, along with a destruction engine that still honestly looks relatively minimal. That all said though, look, I'm a big fan of the series. I just don't really need a lengthy breakdown of what's coming. If you like Forza like me, you already know you're gonna be jumping into this one. Flight Simulator then got a couple of big updates, a 40th anniversary expansion, first of all adding classic planes and helicopters November 2022, really like the sound of the helicopters here, but then the most unique one, a Halo Infinite add-on that launched today, which seems to give us control of what appeared to be a Pelican dropship. I'll be checking the latter out immediately. That is a great spin on the formula. It's about as Xbox exclusive as you can get as well. Overwatch 2 then gets announced with early access coming October 4th as a free-to-play. Now, if hero-based shooters are your thing, this is probably going to be one for you. We'll definitely be checking it out for the channel. Seems though from what we could tell, we're not the biggest players over here, but it looked like some of the maps they're carrying over from the original game. It did then as well introduce 4 new heroes, and of course, as always, they are class-specific. Ara History Untold didn't give us a whole lot to go on. Turn-based, a cinematic-focused trailer, a 2023 release window. It's PC Game Pass for this one. It's coming from the team, though, behind Civ, so there's very little reason here to doubt the potential for it. Just kind of want to see gameplay now. We did go on an expansion run then. The Elder Scrolls Online High Isle gets a new release date, June 21st, so that is a nice quick win there. Luke played them years ago, but it seems it's come a long way since that original launch, so we really have little to add here. No doubt though, fans are psyched for it, and it's going to, for sure I imagine at least, add a ton of content. Fallout 76, the Pitt then is another expansion that was announced for September of this year. The Pitt was in Fallout 3, so it's nice kind of as a little throwback. No doubt this game has improved since launch then, but I'd really like personally just a new traditional entry. Also, this engine here is just showing its age so much at this point. I mean, it was back at launch. But yeah, it's the usual Fallout style of jank with limited animations and of course those wonderful character designs. The most exciting expansion though for me, Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels. If you played the last Hot Wheels DLC, this is gonna be awesome as it takes the track design to just these crazy new levels. It was another CGI trailer unfortunately, but I'm looking forward to seeing what is included in the car lineup. This one, it's dropping July 19th, so again, just kinda, you know, around the corner. Arc 2 then is one Luke was really psyched for. The survival experience, it throws you into a dinosaur-filled world. It's rocking though Unreal Engine 5, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do. The trailer appeared to be CGI though, so it's really giving us very little to go on. As long as they do continue though to expand, this should be one to look forward to. The question with these though is, how full is this world going to be on launch, and will it take a DLC or two to get going? It is going to be launching though in 2023. Scorn then was one of my favourite trailers of the event. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and this gameplay-filled trailer did not disappoint. The Alien Prometheus-styled visuals continue to impress, as does its grotesque spin on horror. From the design though, it appears to be a linear experience. It's blending exploration and shooter of sorts, so not a huge amount of explanation behind it. Curious then to see how it evolves, so would it pack RPG elements as well? I really do hope so. It's dropping this year though as well, October 21st, so no doubt now over the next few months we're going to be learning a whole lot about it. Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn, and then it seems to be a Horizon Zero Dawn kind of mixed with a dash of Assassin's Creed from what we could see. Curious to see if it's all out action or more leaning into the world of action RPG. It looked okay, but something about the visuals here didn't sit right with me. It felt a little last gen if anything. I think it was the animations. Visuals only get you so far though. If the gameplay is good, that's really all that matters. Minecraft Legends then is Luke's territory. I've never really played it all that much myself, but he's not sold on this one quite yet. He's not sure there's really enough to bring him back into the world. It looked to rock more of an isometric viewpoint rather than the traditional first or third person, and it's promising then to be an action strategy spin. It's definitely fun though to see them using this license in different ways. I will say as well, the visuals look great throughout this trailer, so yeah, hopefully this kind of pushes it into the next generation. Lightyear Frontier then seems to be an open world, a sandbox experience with a sci-fi theme. Now for me, this looked very similar to a game called Astroneer with a first person spin, but the trailer showed us you'll be piloting a multifunction mech that can transform into other forms as well as be upgraded. They detailed here though construction as well as harvesting, crafting, farming, and then 4-player support as well. Curious though to see what the narrative is gonna be. Gunfire Reborn, then it seems to rock that cel-shaded Borderlands vibe to its action, but it's promising a roguelite experience and 4-player support. You'll be controlling here one of multiple animals, but we're not sure if this one's going to be more targeted towards a younger audience. For me, it just looked a little bland in its design and locations. They particularly kind of looked relatively empty. Guns, magic though, and stylistic visuals means I will at least give it a go, and it releases October 2022. The Last Case of Benedict Fox then drops spring 2023, and this looks like a winner to me. A Lovecraftian styled action platformer, but with a little extra research, or at least from what we're seeing, it seems to be a Metroidvania. The main character in here seems to have special abilities as well, which will no doubt play into progression, and there was a slew of enemy designs showed off. A Lovecraft style though is nearly always a winner for me, and here it tasks us with travelling through our father's memories after he passes away. As Dusk Falls then is a game you display when you really want to get that live chat good and toxic. This was not one for the main audience. It's about as niche as they come with a unique visual style and delivery. Now I love myself narrative based games, so this absolutely stands out to me, but again, it's not exactly appealing to the masses. A story-driven experience with multiple paths to follow though as you track a family, but it's the visuals that stand out. A motion graphic novel style. It gave me kind of a vibe of, if anyone remembers this film, A Scanner Darkly. But yeah, an art style where they basically drew over the main actors to create something unique. Somehow then it's supporting up to 8 players. I don't know how that works, but we won't have long to wait to find out. It releases July 19th, 2022. Naraka Bladepoint, unsure if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it drops soon, June 23rd. I've heard a lot about this one though, following a seriously successful PC launch. My understanding, it's hack and slash action meets the battle royale formula, so I think melee combat with 60 player support. Martial arts inspired though is not something we see enough of, and yeah, the flexibility then in the movement I'm really looking forward to. It should lead to some good strategy. I do want to see though now more on the grappling hook system, the ranged combat, and how it will support controller. Pentiment then is also this year, 2022. I've got very little to add here. I think it was another bold move showing it amongst some of these trailers. Seems to be something I would play, but I'm not sure again it appeals to the masses. It was really one big excuse for some more live chat toxicity. Seems to be a storybook styled narrative adventure though through the eyes of an artist. I'll be checking this one out, but let's move on as it didn't really give us a whole lot to work with. Grounded then needs no introduction, a survival game set in a Honey I Shrunk the Kids style backyard world. Not played it myself, Luke has, he really enjoys it. This was the announcement though for the full release, so no doubt this will see a ton of new content and features of course, but that also then includes the new story mode, which no doubt many were looking forward to. It releases September 2022. Ereban Shadow Legacy then looks a whole lot like a game called Aragami, but it's combining a ninja style with a futuristic world, a story-driven stealth platformer game. You'll be taking on the role of Ayana, the last descendant of a forgotten race, out to uncover the truth of your past while saving this morally grey universe. Raw Fury, they do some great work, so I'm looking forward to this, and the visuals again here, they were definitely a strong show. Diablo IV then was another big one for the showcase. Blizzard are no doubt on rocky ground given recent events around the mobile release, but for those still willing to support them, this could very well be their last chance, so please do not mess this up. I would suggest watch this full trailer because it gave a huge amount of detail, but it was all exclusively Series X gameplay. It also seems from the beta sign-up page, this is next gen only in its current state. Some highlights include though a new Necromancer class, reclaimable strongholds, local random events, PvP areas, endgame content, and yeah, a whole lot more. It looked visually fantastic. The gameplay looks to be what most fans will want, but I'm particularly liking the fact they seem to have really leaned into the horror theme this time around with some truly grotesque designs. I'm hoping it's heading back to its roots now, but we will find out in 2023. Sea of Thieves Season 7 was announced. Not a fan of the game personally, though Luke really enjoys it. He said it's particularly good with friends, this one jumping online, but keeping it quick. It seems to add more places to sell loot, and the ability then to own your own ship and customize it. Sounds like there's a spin on new questlines potentially, but no real confirmed messaging. It's dropping then July 21st, 2022. Ravenlok looks unique, an action fairy tale coming-of-age adventure, all accompanied with some unusual voxel visual design. Seems this studio, they have a love for voxel though, as they consider this the cap to what was the voxel trilogy. Looks something like Alice in Wonderland, the character gets sucked inside a mirror. Real-time combat though follows, as well as exploration, and you'll be checking this one out sometime in 2023. Cocoon then is Annapurna Interactive, which means insta-buy for me immediately. It gives me serious Journey vibes. What makes it even more special though, it's the team behind Inside and Limbo, a near instant sign of quality. That is Playdead Studios. They are absolute rock stars. Looks to be another puzzle platformer, but more with a top-down kind of perspective, moving away from their usual 2D that they are known for. It seems as well that they've also discovered more colours outside of black and white, so it's definitely quite the diversion for them. I'll be there day one though, as you are tasked with, it seems at least, manipulating orbs in this world to progress. It releases 2023. Wolong Fallen Destiny then, it comes from Koei Tecmo, who have now gained a seriously strong following with their Warriors brand of action. You know, think shut off your brain and just kill wave upon wave of dumbass enemy. This one, however, it seems to feature cast members still of the Warriors world, or at least from what we could tell, but it's actually the story of a nameless ninja fighting for survival. The almost horror-esque design though has me absolutely intrigued, as it actually promises to be a dark fantasy spin on the formula, but set now around demons. It's dropping early 2023. Persona 3, 4 and 5 Royale then was a surprise. I did not see this coming, but it is a massive win. As a Switch owner, honestly, this kind of gives me hope for at least 3 or 4 hitting the console, which I would prefer. Definitely want that handout, but yeah, look, having them join Game Pass, that is a win in itself. Some of the best JRPGs of recent memory, you know, super stylistic. I've played 4 and 5, not 3, so I'll be jumping in there. But first up will be that 5th entry dropping on 21st of October. No known date yet for 3 or 4. Hideo Kojima then made a quick appearance. Curious to this one, nothing was really given, but he has made a partnership now with Xbox Studios to develop a new game, completely new IP. This could definitely get interesting, but given the fact no details were given at all, I expect it's going to be years until we see something. Still a great partnership though, and hopefully it leads to something really impressive. Starfield then was our final game of the show as expected, and I'm curious what everyone thought. Let us know in the comments down below. That said though, look, when it started I was somewhat disappointed honestly. It showed a barren landscape before jumping into some good old corridor based shooting. That wasn't exactly what I expected, but thankfully it did continue to get a whole lot better. We ended up seeing everything from customizable spaceships to hub locations to use of future style technology, and visually as well, really impressed. Understandably, this was alpha footage, but the frame rate was definitely rocky in this current build, but no doubt they've now got time to iron that out. The big promise though, it seems to be the idea of 1,000 locations and the ability to land literally anywhere. Now I'm curious to see how that plays out. I can't help but hear that and have flashbacks to No Man's Sky at launch. It is great though to see a new engine in here. It's definitely a big step up over past productions, and the dialogue exchanges, they finally look, well, I wouldn't say they look great, but they look a little less robotic. It's stating a 2023 launch. I'd put my money here on this one being delayed. I just don't think they're going to be rushing it out the gate if it is not ready. And that is every trailer shown today. They had a handy little graphic as well breaking down the next couple of years. I already looked for Hollow Knight, it is not there, no appearance sadly. It's clearly being held back for an announcement elsewhere. My money is probably on Nintendo having the rights to make that announcement. What did you think though? I think there was a decent little lineup. My only concern, not a whole lot of solid dates, just 2022, 2023, or the good old early 2023, whatever that actually means. With that though, like, hit subscribe, join us here on Xbox Corner for reviews, deals, Game Pass breakdowns and graphical comparisons weekly, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.